The Lakers draft picks have arrived in Los Angeles with Mike Bresnahan. I'm Lindsey Thiry for the Los Angeles Times. Today we were introduced to Brandon Ingram and Ivica Zubic, the number 2 and number 32 pick respectively. Obviously it's been a little bit since the draft, but both seemed equally excited to finally be here, Brez.
Yeah, it's funny. Ingram seemed a little more businesslike, a little more serious, which makes sense, Lindsey, because there's more pressure on him. As a number 2 overall pick, he's going to be coming off the bench pretty early in that rotation. And, he got Kobe's locker here at the training facility.
I was going to say, make no coincidence, he's in Kobe's locker, and
Absolutely.
the GM said, big shoes to fill.
Yeah, and I liked Ingram's response to that. He said, I'm okay with that. I like that. He said he's ready for the pressure. And then you have Zubic, who, let's face it, 32nd overall pick, probably the 3rd string center.
Not a lot of pressure there.
Yeah, assuming he even makes the opening night roster, which is not for sure, but it looks like it's going to happen. He can just be kind of a funny guy. He seems kind of like the class clown.
He kind of does. He has the 3 Laker jerseys. One of them is Andrew Bynum. He told us on draft night that Bynum jersey's under a lot of dirty clothes.
Yeah, right.
But he has his own jersey now. Both of these guys do. They'll go into Summer League. So how do you think that this organization will really look for them to perform at Summer League? What's the adjustment going to be like for them there?
Just get your legs under you, especially for Zubic, who, let's face it, he's been overseas for years and years and years. And how is he adjusting to L.A. and Vegas? I mean, these are not
easy places to come to right
this
away.
This is not Des Moines, Iowa,
Yeah.
is it? So, he's just got to learn the offense. And they're curious to see how he does against, I'm not going to say NBA caliber, because in Summer League you have young kids and maybe only 3 or 4 from each team who will be on an NBA roster a few months from now. But they just want to introduce them to the Luke Walton offense. And same for Ingram. How is he going to adjust shooting, pushing that three-point line out a little bit farther than how it was in college?
A lot's been made to do over Brandon Ingram, saying that he will be a leader here. A lot's been made to do about his weight. He tells me he'll obviously gain weight. We know he will eventually. He can't be that thin. I'm not going to say skinny. Thin for long.
Sure.
But the leadership part, where do you think that's going to fit in? Because that's kind of interesting. An 18-year-old kid thinking he's going to come into an organization and be a leader.
Well, it's funny. I believe he said that on draft night, and it made sense. He was excited. He was the number 2 pick. They had no veterans on the team other than Nick Young and maybe one other one I might not remembering at this point. But then they added Luol Deng in a free agent signing, and he's a great locker room presence. So immediately, again, more pressure being taken off Ingram here, because Deng, Pat Riley, no less an authority than Pat Riley, right? He said recently that, hey, this guy was the guts of our team, a high character guy, and Luol Deng can do all the leadership for now, and Ingram can kind of learn from him on the fly, so that when it's his team, however many years down the road, he can maybe apply some of those principles. But I like that.
You were the biggest free agent signing, but the Lakers also did pick up Timothy Mozgov, and then they signed Jordan Clarkson to a large contract. So what does that mean for this organization going forward? To pick up Deng, Mozgov, and then keep Jordan Clarkson around?
I thought one of them was a great one. I'd say I was hot on one of them, cold on one of them.
You mean that when that news broke of Timothy Mozgov, you might have shook your head and said, "I'm not so sure about that."
Yeah, that was a lot of money. That was
kind of out of nowhere.
That was not minimum wage.
Yeah.
And the Lakers liked what they saw from him. They called him very early in free agency. Lindsey, in 12 years of covering the Lakers for the LA Times, I don't remember a night where a player was signed that quickly. Within 45 minutes, it was like, yep, we've got an agreement. And obviously they targeted him immediately. And that was the one where it's like, that's some money being allocated there.
Yeah.
But then I like the Luol Deng one, the most recent one of the veteran free agent signings. Like I said, good locker room guy. Had a really good season once Chris Bosh went down in Miami. Really filled the void for the Heat. Helped them get out of the first round, and they went 7 games in the second round against Toronto. Can do a little bit of everything. Can block shots, get steals, hit threes. And, Jordan was, that's about what they should have paid him. So I was fine with that one.
So as I mentioned, Brez is the big free agent signing. This might be one of our last videos together with you under the Los Angeles Times umbrella, I should say, but I promise we'll be grabbing him on the court for many, many years to come. I have this feeling. All right, with the Los Angeles Times, this is Mike Bresnahan, and I'm Lindsey Thiry from the Lakers practice facility.